All right, good morning. Today is a little bit different. Instead of riding to the gym with me, you are riding back home with me, and it's a Monday. So, knocked out a full body day. That is pretty much the split that I'm running right now. Is full body on Sunday, full body Monday. Tuesday will be some form of cardio. As of right now, tomorrow I'm actually planning to drop in at a run club that I've visited periodically. Actually, periodically is being super generous. Super sporadically. I went a few times. All right, let's be honest. I went a few times last year, and just based on schedule and also my lack of desire to run, I haven't gone back very often in quite a while. Can't even remember what the last time was. So, all that to say, I will be doing a run club, committed to dropping in at a run club tomorrow. Then Wednesday, another full body. Thursday for me is either recharge or a moderate to low intensity cardio, maybe even going like a zone 2. Friday, full body, and then Saturday, again, cardio or recharge. So that's my split. Basically, 4 lifting days. I commit to 2 or more cardio sessions each week. So that's my split. Thoughts for today, or the main thought for today, is around gymtimidation. So the context there is in working with clients over a number of years, and then in having just casual conversation about training. There's a common avatar that I come in contact with, which is folks who have primarily worked out at home and then have realized, man, I am either going to need to invest in heavier weights at home, or I may need to go ahead and venture out of my home and get into a gym so that I can get access to heavier weights. And this is like the problem that is good to have, in my opinion. Once you have built consistency with your training and you start to really understand the principles of intensity and the stimulus of progressive overload, you start to realize, man, these, I don't want to offend anybody by saying a number. So let's just say these X pound weights that I've been using for the past number of years, and then now I've been consistent with my training over the past 4 to 6 months, I'm realizing, I can either just keep adding a whole bunch more reps in order to get to the intended intensity, or we're probably going to have to lift heavier, which means I'm either going to need to get heavier weights, or I'm going to have to go somewhere that has heavier weights. And a common belief that will run through the heads of the folks that I work with is the scenario that, man, when I get into the gym, people are going to talk about me, they're going to laugh at me because I don't know what I'm doing. And my response to that, for the most part, is you are probably right. You are probably right. The people at the gym, there is probably going to be at least one person who is going to make a comment about you. Rarely are they actually going to make the comment to you, but they may make a comment about you. They may talk to, you may overhear them say something to somebody that they're with. They may make fun of you. I play that whole scenario out, which I think is the opposite of a lot of the content that you see. I think that based on what I've seen, a lot of the content that you see will share this message of, hey, don't worry about going into the gym and people looking at you. Like, that's one of the big ones. People aren't really paying attention to you, that sort of a thing. They're more focused on their own workout. While I find that scenario to also be true, it can also be true that people are going to look at you. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's negative, but maybe they are having negative thoughts. And then what? So if they are, that that doesn't have any specific find effect on your training session itself. And I'm going to share this with you. Excuse me. I'm going to share this with you, just my own personal experience as someone who first purposely stepped inside of a gym in 2010, I believe. Yeah, 2010, right around there, is the first time that I purposely stepped into a gym as a beginner. And when I say beginner, I mean beginner. So at that time, I had no experience lifting weights. I had no experience doing anything inside of a gym. No group classes, no nothing. And uh, even now, so from then until now, we're talking the better part of what would this be, 15 to 16 years later, I am well aware of the fact that people do look at me at the gym. I also look at people. Like we look at people at the gym. Uh, there are people who have made comments about me. In fact, why this is coming up today is because just over the past few days, I went into the commercial gym instead of like the family owned gym that I typically go into. And in that commercial gym, I was on the treadmill and I had my headphones on, but my headphones or my earbuds have what's called basically an awareness mode where you can hear your music, you can hear your podcast, and you can hear everything that's happening around you. Now, usually I do noise cancellation because, especially if I'm on the treadmill and I pick up some speed, I sound like it sounds like bombs are dropping with every footstep. Like I'm not necessarily the biggest dude, but I'm not necessarily the smallest dude either. So the noise cancellation is more for me to not hear the absolute pounding that I'm giving the treadmill. Pause. It's more, yeah, that's basically like why I do it. However, in this instance, I happen to have the awareness mode on, so I could hear what was happening around me. And there was an individual who was on the treadmill next to me, who was straight up like talking, basically making fun of me with some of the activities that I was doing on the treadmill. Like I decided to go for a little bit of a jog, and they were basically just kind of making comments about actually how loud I was on the treadmill. And to me, like that's a treadmill problem, not a my problem. Um, that's more of an equipment thing versus me. And it just reminded me, like, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what you look like, the amount of experience you have. Folks probably are going to look at you. Folks probably are going to have something to say. And so what? So what? It has no defined effect on your training session at all. So if you are somebody who is going to be newer to going into a large gym, a commercial gym, that sort of big box scenario, if you are telling yourself, well, I need to wait until I look a certain way before I go into the gym because that'll minimize the possibility of people looking at me or saying anything about me, as somebody who's been going to the gym consistently for about 15 years now, uh, my experience tells me that you are wrong. So, regardless of what you ever look like, your definition of how fit you are or are not, just understand. Uh, I think it's better for you to just assume people are going to talk about you either way. It doesn't matter what you look like. So, just control what you can control, which is the saying, like you can control your effort and your attitude. And you can control what you focus on. You can control what you agree to assign, like what story you agree to assign to the activities that are happening around you and the things that people say. So that's what I want to leave you with here. Again, if you are either feeling intimidated or anxious about what you may observe or what you may experience or feel, I respect that. And I want to tell you that those things possibly are real scenarios. I'm not going to say they're made up scenarios. And so what? You still got a workout to do. You still got stuff to focus on. So that's what I'm going to leave you with. We'll talk to you next time.